welcome back to my channel. Thanks again for watching. Today is going to be a brow routine video. As you can see, I have absolutely no brow product on right now and it is pretty scary. My eyebrows are completely blonde as can be, almost to the point of invisibility. So I'm going to be filling them in, showing you how I fill them in and shape them a little bit. Yeah, and what products I'm using as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do like it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And yeah, let's go. Okay, so the products that I'm going to be using are these three products right here. You may think 3 products for doing your brows is a little excessive, but to me that's actually just like the bare minimum. You of course need a brow pencil or gel or some sort of pomade, whatever you want to use, whatever you find the easiest to use. You want to figure out what color is right for you. So what I'm going to be using is the Anastasia Brow Definer. Fairly new, it came out last month, and I'm using it in the color Caramel, which is a perfect shade for my hair color. So obviously you want to go by your hair color. You don't want to do a super blonde eyebrow with dark hair or vice versa. So just figure out what color is right for you. I'm using the Brow Definer just because I find it to be the easiest product for the brows to use. I've tried powders, I've tried the pomades, and I've tried the Brow Wiz. Of course, that was my baby for the longest time, but this has taken the cake. It's amazing, as I've said in my previous videos. So this is what it looks like right here. As you can see, it kind of goes upward into a slant, so it's perfect for drawing on those eyebrow hairs and making it actually look like they're more full than they might actually be. And then of course it has a spoolie on the other side. This is what that looks like. It's nice, big, and puffy. Sorry, I'm getting text messages. But anyways, so this is what I like to use. If you want to use the Brow Wiz or the pomades, any of that will do, but I'll show you what exactly I do. Now I'm going to be using that product for my brows, and then I like to set my brows. Setting your brows, that's something that's completely optional. I love setting them because the hairs tend to kind of go in every which way and kind of go haywire throughout the day, so it just really keeps them in place. After doing all of that work, getting that nice shape and consistency, you really just want to set it in place so that it's not going to waste, you know, and then it's not going everywhere. Your brows aren't going everywhere. So anyways, I like to set it, and the setting stuff that I use is a clear brow gel. You can use a colored brow, like a tinted brow gel, if you wanted to get a little bit more color, fill it in a little bit more, but I find this to be perfect for color, and then just a clear brow gel just for the purposes of setting, kind of like hairspray for your hair. You obviously don't use a colored hairspray. I don't even think those exist, but you just use a hairspray, and that's all it's for, is just to hold your hairs, and that's what a clear brow gel does. And then I like to use a concealer as well. I'm using this Naked Skin by Urban Decay concealer, partially because it's just so nice for cleaning it up and also highlighting the brow bone as well. So it's a great highlighting concealer, and the consistency is really nice. It's not too heavy, and I love the applicator, so it's really nice and easy to kind of just get it exactly where you want it to go. Anyways, those are only 3 products that I use, so let's go ahead and start filling them in. So as you can see, my brows are super duper light, and they've got a little bit of shape to them, but nothing too crazy. So what I'm going to start off is I'm going to start off by defining the bottom portion of it. And I'm just going to be looking in a mirror, so if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. Alright, so I'm starting, you don't want to start in the front, first of all, because you're going to be probably applying your heaviest amount of product when you first start putting it on. So if you first start here, you're going to be going a little too heavy-handed. The very inner portion of your brow should be the lightest portion of your brow. So you don't want to do something super heavy all around, because it's going to really look a little clownish and just look really harsh. So you want to go lighter in this area and then darker towards your arch. So I'm going to actually kind of start in the middle right here and start kind of drawing where that line I want it to go underneath my brow is going to be. So I'm starting again a little bit past the middle portion. You can use, I wouldn't go too heavy-handed, too hard with it at first, since you're kind of starting in the middle, but you know, just a medium amount of pressure is good. And then we're just extending it downwards. So right now it looks a little harsh, it looks like, you know, super robotic, but we're going to be blending it in, so don't take that at face value. So what I want to do first is to literally draw in where the bottom portion of my brow is going to start, okay? Then I want to draw my arch in. I have a very little arch right here, like it's tiny, like just a little flick, and I want to make it a little bit bigger. I like kind of a little bit bolder brows. So I'm going to start here kind of in the middle section again, and continue your brow down where your actual brow is, if you like where your brow is. You know what I'm saying? Like if you like the shape of it, follow the shape of it. But I'm kind of trying to create my own shape, and I'm going to bring it out a little bit more than what normally my brow, see how further out it is? My brow goes to kind of here, and I'm bringing it out to here, because again, I like it a little bit bolder, a little bit thicker on the outer arch area. And then you just want to kind of connect the dots, just like that. Now it looks really kind of messy right now, but again, we're going to be blending it out. I go over it just to make sure that I have that nice line that I want, and that they're nice and connected like that, okay? It's looking really dark, and we're going to fill it in. Fill in just the parts that we've done. Again, harder. You can do a little bit of harder pressure on the tail, and then you want to go lighter and lighter and lighter the further in you go, okay? So I'm just filling that in. Just like that, lighter pressure up here. I'm leaving this middle, this intersection blank for now. And then we're going to go ahead and use the spoolie just to kind of brush through and make it actually look like hair strokes are going through your brows and not just a drawing, you know what I mean? Like, you want it to look natural, and that's what the spoolie is for, just to make it look as natural as possible and get those hair strokes going. Now I'm going to bring this tail down just a little bit more because I want it to come to a little bit more of a point. Again, we're just faking it till we make it, because this is not what my actual brow looks like. It's not as far down, it's not as angled, so I'm faking it till I make it, and this is how I like it right now. I'm going to fill it a little bit more. You can fill it in and spoolie it, and fill it in and spoolie it. When you do put the spoolie through it, sometimes it can displace some of the product, so you know, if you need to go back in and fill it in a little bit more, that is totally fine. Okay. So now that that's done, we're going to go into the inner portion, and again, we want to draw that bottom line where the bottom portion is beginning, and very, 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 as light as you can, light strokes going to the inner portion. Just follow kind of where your normal brow would stop in that middle section right there. And then again, just super, super light strokes going towards the intersection. Don't go all the way in on the top part, because we're gonna fill that in and kind of spoolie it some more so it looks a lot more natural. So here is where, instead of going like this with the pencil and going like that with strokes, like where the pencil is sideways, we're gonna turn it so that it's upwards. So it's up and down, and we're lightly just stroking it upwards, just to get those nice natural hairs, because your hairs go like this, but then here they kind of stroke upwards. So you just want to follow the natural shape and direction of your brows, because you don't want it to look super like fake. I mean, you want your brows to look somewhat natural, but you again want to just fake it till you make it and make it look like they're naturally as filled in and beautiful. Okay, just like that, lightly pushing it upwards. Very, very light, very, very light. I can't stress that enough. Very light. I used to do mine, I used to press way too hard here, and so it just looked very, very dark and, well, it didn't look natural for one, and it also just it looked very harsh, like I was mean or something, like mean mugging always, because it was just so like dark, you know. My brows have come a long way, let me tell you. Okay, so we're filling that in. See that? Just light strokes. Alright, now that you've got your brow pretty much filled in all the way, you want to go in with your concealer of choice. And like I said, mine is the Naked Skin from Urban Decay. And you're just going to clean it up. So, making it look as clean and crisp as possible, especially if you haven't maybe got your brows done a little bit. This is so handy. And it also highlights the brow bone. And again, like I said, one of the things I love about this concealer for this purpose is the applicator. It's kind of so precise that you can just literally lay it exactly where you want it to go. See that? See how I'm defining it and cleaning it up the edges. Alright. Now we want to go in with a brush of some sort. And so, not 3 products, I guess, 4 if you count the brush as well. I'm going to be using this brush right here. It doesn't have a name on it. I'm pretty sure it's a Morphe brush. That's what it looks like. So it's a flat head. It's a little rounded, but it's flat head and it's thin. Very thin. So it's perfect for this purpose. So what we're going to do is we're going to light strokes, very light strokes. Bringing it downwards a little bit, just blending it into the lid colors. And at the same time as we're bringing it down, we're also just going in and blending it actually in that line, so that it, again, we're getting that really nice crisp line. It's nice and clean. And we can go on the inner portion as well, just to make sure that that's nice and clean too. Here I'm just kind of blending it into the other colors that I have going on the lid. So it's just a nice gradient effect. It looks natural. And it's highlighting the brow bone as well. And the purpose of highlighting the brow bone is to bring it forward. And it makes the arch of your brow look a little bit more intense. And highlighting is the purpose of bringing light back to your face after you put foundation and all that stuff on. So highlighting being, you know, highlighting your under eyes, the bridge of your nose, your chin, your cupid's bow, your forehead, and your brow bone. Everywhere the light hits you naturally is where you want to bring light back to your face. And so that's kind of the purpose of this as well. Not just to clean it up, but also to bring a nice highlight back into your brow. Now I kind of took off a little bit more than I wanted to on this. As you can tell, it's a little too thin for my liking, so I'm just going to bring it down some more and get rid of that. Sometimes that happens, but see how perfect that is now? Like, it's just very, very natural looking. Oh, I don't know if I'd say natural, but you know. I'm going to add a little bit more concealer right here because it didn't clean it up quite as much as I wanted it to. Now what you can also do is you can add concealer to this top portion here. But mine, I actually like literally just got my brows done today, so they're actually pretty clean. But if you've got some like random hairs up here that are kind of peeking out outside of your brows that you've drawn in, then you can just go in and kind of do your concealer thing and hide them. Concealer is literally like the best invention ever. I love it. Look how much cleaner that is from when it started though. Looks so much nicer. So that's pretty much it. Other than, of course, setting it with this clear brow gel from Anastasia. So I'm just going to go in. You want to do light pressure with this. You don't want to apply too much product. And you don't want to start, again, you don't want to start here because it does have the most amount of product when you first take it out of the tube. So if you go in right here, it's going to have a big glob and more product is going to be applied here, when really this part is like what you want to look more natural. And so if you start here, it's just going to apply most of the product to the outer portion, and then just at least a little bit of pressure, a little bit of product to that inner portion. Because it's okay if these hairs go a little bit upwards, which is what they're supposed to do, but when these hairs start to kind of go and flick outwards, that's when we need a brow gel. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other brow, and then we'll see what the final result is. But do you see the difference though? You see how big of a difference it makes? So we got both brows done. Now I'm just going to go in and clear brow gel my right one. Again, remember that you use the most product on the outside section, just like that, to really help to secure that shape that you created and keep the hairs from going like haywire. And then whatever product's left over, bring it to the intersection. Alright, so that is it for my brows. Just some main points to remember when you're doing your brows is it really doesn't matter what sort of brow product you're using. You just want to remember to go lighter handed on the intersection of the eyebrows, and you can go a little bit heavier on the outer section. Also, you want to follow the hairs in their natural direction. Don't try and draw them in a direction that they don't naturally go, because then they're not going to look natural. Also, just matching the coloring of your product that you're using to your hair type, your hair color. It's not really necessarily about skin tone, it's about hair color. You want to go and try and match up the brow color to your hair color as much as possible. As you can see, caramel goes perfectly with my hair. Taupe's a little too blonde, medium brown is a little too dark. So just finding that right shade for you. And you know, it doesn't matter if you're using a brow wiz, a definer, a pomade, a powder. You do the same sort of process no matter what. It just depends on what you like. I do my brows a little bit thicker than somebody might like, or a little bit thinner than some people like. So again, I'm not a super expert on brows, but this is just how I like to do them. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope this was a enlightening video. I hope you learned something new, and if you did, please let me know what you learned, or if you applied it for yourself and it worked out, let me know in the comments down below. I'm on on all social media, so feel free to tag me in any pictures of you recreating your brows based on what you learned today. And yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say other than I love you all. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.
The little things you do to me are taking me over. I wanna show you.